Hello and welcome to the Economy This Week series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today's session is about important economic events which had happened in the past week. As you already know that this week was very much famous for RBI's repo rate cut. Also, we have witnessed the reciprocal tariff by the Donald Trump. So, we have few other news which we are going to cover up in today's session. So, let's discuss all the news. So here are the news which we are going to discuss in today's session. So here first we are going to discuss about the India's forest reserves, then we are going to discuss about Rising Bharat Summit 2025, then we are going to discuss about the what is bear market and RBI's repo rate cut. So we'll discuss all these news. So let's move to the first news. The first news is about that what is a bear market. You already know that there is a announcement of reciprocal tariff by Donald Trump, and that has created a lot of panic in the market and especially into the stock market. So here it comes a situation of the bear market. So this bear market is a result of the announcement of Donald Trump in the USA, and might be many other countries are going through this bear market kind of situation. So this is the news. US stocks continue to tumble. What is a bear market? So global stock market continue to plunge. As you already know that we had discussed about the Black Monday bloodbath, in which we had discussed that why this particular dip in share market is called as a Black Monday, because similar kind of incidences happen in the October 1987 in America, and the day was Monday. So since the beginning of any week, if you witness such kind of decline in the share market, so that is called as a Black Monday and bloodbath, because there is a sudden plunge into the share market. So there is so much of panic selling happening into the stock market. So as you already know that Donald Trump has said that there is no sign of the backing away from his tariff policy. On the other hand, he has announced that various countries are coming for the negotiation, and various countries like China and many other European Union countries had started this retaliatory measures. It means that they had retaliated onto the reciprocal tariff. So if we'll see that notably S&P 500, which is a stock market index that tracks almost performance of 500 largest public traded companies in the US, had briefly entered into the market territory for the first time. So what kind of market territory they had entered? So this is the bear market territory. So we are going to discuss about that. What is this bear market territory? So a bear market is a condition when a stock index sinks at least 20%. Though there is no definite criteria for that, it should be at least 20%. But if we can see any situation that if it is sinking more than 20%, then it is a situation of a bear market from its last peak state. So you have to also take care of this, that from its last peak state, if it is dipping down by 20%, this is a situation of the bear market. And it has been speculated that many countries' stock market has turned and has witnessed such kind of the situation, and there is nothing official about the determination that this is a particular criteria, and if you have to declare any stock market that this is a territory of the bear market, then you have to fulfill these kind of criteria. On the basis of informal determination, such things are decided. And a bear market is opposite of for a bull market, which refers to when an index enters and it has increased at least 20% from its recent low. So here what we can see that from recent peak status, it should be plunged by 20% in the bear market, and on the other hand in the bull market it should be at least 20% above from the recent low. So this is the opposite kind of situation between the bear market and the bull market. So this would be a very much important question for your prelims examination, that what is the difference between the bear market and bull market. So you should know the difference between these two market. Now we are going to discuss about that what does a bear, why does a bear market occur. So in the case of America, you already know that there is an announcement of reciprocal tariff by the US President Donald Trump. And a bear market occurs when investors are more eager to sell the stock rather than purchasing. So this is a situation which we can call it as a bear market, and it happens because of the economic events also and non-economic events also, because there can be a sudden war kind of situation, there can be a oil crisis in any part of the world. So this can happen due to non-economic events also. So this is a situation when bear market occurs. Now we'll discuss some more points related to it, that how common is a bear market. So if you'll see that is bear market phenomena is common. If you see in the context of India, then India did have faced a situation of bear market, especially in 2008. Global financial crisis was going on. And if you'll see in the case of America, so it has been estimated that after every 7 to 8 years, America faces such kind of situation. So this is kind of common, but not what you can say, it is not an annual phenomena. So this is the what you can say situation of bear market. Now we are going to discuss about the ISGS Foundation online course. As you already know that Drishti IAS has this particular course which is available on Drishti Learning app, and this particular facility is available for the online course. So as you already know that we do have such kind of the course on the Drishti Learning app. So we have upgraded new features to this particular thing, and these are the 3 AI backed features in which we'll discuss about the AI summary. So suppose that there is a video content, so this will give you a summary of that video content, so that it will be helpful for you in the quick revision, especially when you have a very less time for your prelims and mains. At that point of time you need a quick revision, so it will be helpful in that kind of situation. Also we have this AI quiz facility. So suppose you have studied from the whole class and you wanted to test your knowledge. So on the basis of video content, there is a AI quiz. So you can test your knowledge, that how much you have gained knowledge from this particular video content. And also there is a problem solving, which is ask me a question. Suppose that if you are watching a video and you got any kind of doubt, so through this ask me a question thing, you can resolve your doubt. So with the help of these features, we have made this course more better. So do check that. And if you want to take any kind of this kind of thing, you can also visit our Drishti Learning app, and there is also calling number which is 87501 87501. So this is our calling number, so do call us. Now we are going to discuss about the second topic, which is about the Rising Bharat Summit 2025, and this is the news. So Rising Bharat Summit, India, China must align for global stability amid US tariff threats, says Jeffrey Sachs. So this particular summit has been organized by News 18, in which various dignitaries, economists have come around. PM Modi also visited, Chirag Paswan, Tejasvi Yadav, various leaders from the India visited this particular summit, and they had attended and they had participated. Among all the dignitaries, we have one economist whose name is Jeffrey D. Sachs. He is a prominent economist, and he had made some suggestions about that how India should behave on a global platform, and especially how India should behave with the USA, which is in news because of its reciprocal tariff. So we are going to discuss about that. So according to Jeffrey D. Sachs, he said that India should avoid close alignment with the United States due to its destabilizing economic condition. So why he had said such kind of thing? And obviously, you know the reason, because of the reciprocal tariff thing. So we'll discuss about his argument, that what is his argument against USA and why he had suggested India like that. So he said that there is a, what USA is doing, it is a unilateral decision, and if we are living in a global world, we cannot be decide anything unilaterally. So this is also one of the things which can be dangerous for India. So India should avoid close association with the USA. And he had criticized the US tariff policies. He said that Trump's use of emergency powers to impose tariffs, and he had also violated the constitutional measures related to the tariff, in that situation, that has created a emergency kind of situation in the context of tariff. So this is a very much dangerous, not for the USA but for the world also. And he said that what the Donald Trump is saying doing in the USA, it is a one man show. So this can be a dangerous, because this is a neurotic approach, not economic approach. So this has the capacity to destabilize the whole global economic order. Then he also said that US-China confrontation. So he said that USA wants to use India against the China confrontation. And on the other hand, he suggested that India and China should collaborate and make more cooperation. And despite having lots of differences, they need to collaborate and they need to cooperate with each other because of its large population. As you already know that India is a populous country among the world and China is the second one. So they together constitute around 40% population of the world. So they have a huge what you can say labor force, they have a huge human resource. So in such kind of the situation, they need to collaborate with each other and they need to promote peace, open trade and sustainability. And because in this fragmented world, these kind of cooperations are needed so that they could not be used against each other. On the other hand, he also suggested that China should support India into becoming UNSC permanent member, and if India will become, it will be definitely beneficial for the China also and for the India also. So he said that there is a lot of risk related to unilateralism which USA is doing, and that can be debacling situation for India if India would not avoid close association with the USA. So he had suggested that there are so many reactions coming from the trade deficit, and this is not a wise economic decision. And this is a decade old issue which he is creating and which Donald Trump is using in the name of the tariff policy. So this was his suggestion, and he had also suggested that if India would go into a right economic path, India has potential to become second largest economy of the world in next 10 to 15 years. In the comment section, you have to tell me that what is the India's rank into the whole economic, that which kind of India economy is. It is a third largest, fourth largest or fifth largest. And according to this thing, he has predicted that India will become the second largest economy in next 10 to 15 years. Now we are going to discuss the next one, which is about the India's forest reserve. And this is the news. India's forest reserves rise to $676.3 billion. So this is the news. So India's foreign exchange reserve rose to $676.3 billion as of April 4, 2025, and this report has recently came, and it is highest in 5 months and marking a gain of 5th straight week. So we'll also discuss that what does the good forest reserve mean for India. Till now we can see the situation. So the weekly rise was $10.9 billion, the largest in a month, with a total increase of $26.7 billion over the last 4 weeks. And it has created a import cover for 11 months. And what is import cover? So import cover here is that India has capacity to pay for the import for next 11 months. So this is called as import cover. And RBI Governor Sanjay Malhotra described India's external sector as resilient, and the rupee strengthened slightly despite of having a lot of global economic friction. The rupee has strengthened slightly, and forest reserve also include India's reserve tranche position at the IMF, which is a portion India can draw during the emergency from the IMF. So these are the indicators of the reserves. Now we are going to discuss that what is the significance of the forest reserve. So first of all, it will provide you currency stability, as we had already discussed that despite of having a lot of global frictions around the world, especially due to this tariff policy, we can see that there is a slightly increase in the value of rupee. So this is also one of the things that it will what you can see reduce excess volatility of rupee. or any kind of the currency. Then it has also the import cover facility. As you already know that the more forest reserve will have, the more import cover will have, and currently we have this 11-month import cover. And investors confidence, because of this forex reserve, it will boost investor confidence, and India will make a favorable environment for them, and they will be more eager to invest into the India. Then credit worthiness. So strong reserve improve India's credit rating, helping the country borrow at lower interest rates globally. So in any kind of the situation, if India needs to borrow money from the different kind of economic and financial organization, so if its forest reserves are in a good shape and good position, then India can get loan onto a lower interest rate, and then protection from the external shocks. Suppose that if there is any global economic crisis happening, and as you already know that we have this crisis happening due to the reciprocal tariff by the Trump. We can also see there are so many war going between the Middle Eastern countries. So these are the economic shocks we can get. So in that situation also, it provides more stability and support for economic policies. So if we have a good what you can say forex reserve, the RBI change its stance accordingly. So next topic is about the RBI change in stance. So as you already know that we had recently we had conducted Monetary Policy Committee meeting, and this is a 6-member Monetary Policy Committee meeting by RBI, in which RBI has slashed the repo rate by 25 basis point. So this is the news which we had already covered in our daily program. In this we have to take care of the few things, which is that what are the stances of the monetary policy. So we have 4 stances. One is hawkish stance, and another is dovish, then we have accommodative, and then we have neutral stance. So we already had described that what hawkish stance means. So hawkish stance means that there is a rise in interest rate. Dovish stance means that there is a what you can say decline in the interest rate. Then we have this accommodative. It means that there will be a cut in the repo rate in order to maintain the economic growth, and we have to look for the national income. So this time also what we have seen that RBI has slashed 25 basis point, and it has turned itself into from neutral stance to the accommodative stance. And neutral means that neither it is increasing, neither it is decreasing. So it is analyzing the overall economic situation of the country. So by looking at the economic situation of the country, RBI takes decision accordingly, and currently we are RBI's monetary policy stance is accommodative in nature. And RBI has also predicted about the GDP. You have to comment this into the comment section that what is the RBI's prediction of GDP for the upcoming financial year. So this is about the MPC meeting, and we already had discussed about the different stances taken by the Monetary Policy Committee. And what is repo rate? So repo rate is a rate on which RBI lends money to the different banks. Now we are going to discuss the practice question for prelims. With reference to India's foreign exchange reserve, consider the following statement. They include foreign currency assets, gold reserves, India's reserve tranche position at the IMF. They are managed by the Ministry of Finance. A higher level of reserve helps in maintaining the stability of the domestic currency. Which of the statement given above is are correct? 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. So you can answer this into the comment section. Then we have another question. Which of the following best defines a bear market? When a stock index falls by more than 10% from its recent peak, when a stock index rises by 20% from its recent low, when a stock index falls by at least 20% from its recent high, when the economy experiences 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth. This is also we had discussed, so you can answer. Then we have, according to Sachs, we had discussed about his opinion related to the Indian economy and how India should behave with the USA. On the basis of that particular discussion, we have designed this question for you. What is the main danger of the US President's unilateral trade decisions? Increased foreign investment in developing countries, strengthening of WTO mechanism, destabilization of global trade and erosion of multilateralism, better trade balances for US allies. So you can also answer this, and then we are going to discuss about in which of the following situation is the accommodative stance most likely to be adopted. As you already know that currently RBI monetary policy is related to the accommodative stance, so you have to answer accordingly. During a period of high inflation, when GDP growth is robust, during an economic slowdown or recession, when foreign exchange reserves are rising. So you have to answer this into the comment section, and I'm dropping a hint for you that in accommodative stance, what happens that home loans become little cheaper, the buying of houses become little cheaper. So this is a hint for you, so you can easily answer this question. I hope you like this session. If you have any queries related to this session, kindly ask into the comment section. Thank you. Have a nice day.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.